Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.
Hi everybody, welcome to Bayou Time Sports. We head into week 4 of the high school football season. Let's take a look at what the slate holds for our Bayou region teams as we head into district play in a lot of our districts. In District 8 4A, it'll be Vanderbilt Catholic starting their slate at Morgan City. Remember, Vanderbilt Catholic 3-0 on the season, and Morgan City has been struggling in their last couple of games. Another big game in District 8 4A is E.D. White Catholic, who is 0-3, taking on 1-2 Ellender. E.D. White looking for that first win, and Ellender is sort of in their way related to starting the district slate. In District 8 5A, Thibodaux at South Lafourche. Man, you talk about a rival game to start it all off. Thibodaux is 3-0. Central Lafourche is 1-2. But they suffered a heartbreaker, losing by an extra point last week to South Lafourche. I think that this game could be a good game when it's said and done, and maybe another time for Terrebonne being the game of the week in the state of Louisiana at Tom B. Smith. Maybe it'll be this week. They're taking on Hornville. Both of those teams are 3-0. Both of them want that District 8 5A title, and the two Tigers are going to be meeting right here in Houma at 7 o'clock on Friday night. H.L. Bourgeois going to be on the road. Their first date to play district ball is an open date. They are the only team in District 8 5A that obviously has that open date, and they're going to be taking on a winless Patterson team, a great opportunity for H.L. to get 3 wins in a row. Houma Christian also playing out of district. They'll be traveling to the North Shore to take on Hannon. That's Archbishop Hannon, a game that Covenant Christian dominated last year. Assumption been struggling. They're going to start off district at Lutcher. Not an easy task for the Mustangs. South Terrebonne is going to be at South Lafourche. That's a big rival game, and that's a huge one for those two teams in District 8 4A. Houma Christian playing out of district. They'll be taking on West St. John, a much improved West St. John team, and Houma Christian having a little trouble the last couple of weeks in scoring some points. Ponchatoula going to be at St. James. Boy, St. James does not shy away from the 5A schools. Hanson Memorial going to be at Berwick. That ought to be a good one there. Hanson winless, Berwick winless, but those two teams I think are evenly matched. And then Bunkie, a good program out of Central Louisiana, is coming in to take on Central Catholic. That game going to be on Thursday night. Let's take a look at very early PowerPoint rankings, but they do matter. They do, simply because it's hard to fall all the way out the top 28 if you're playing in the non-select brackets. But then again, sometimes it's hard to work your way up. For example, you see Terrebonne at number 2. Terrebonne's going to stay up there, folks. They're going to be good. But then you see South Lafourche at a solid number 8. South Lafourche needs to keep up the winning to stay up there so that they can have a home date when it's all said and done. Thibodaux is moving up, and I know a lot of people will say, well, Thibodaux's 3-0. How are they at number 16? Simply because this goes by power of your opponent. Thibodaux's going to move up as they stay playing in District 8 5A moving forward. Destrehan only 1 win on the year, but obviously they played extremely tough competition. Hornville at number 26. That's a little bit of a surprise because they're 3-0. But remember, the first 2 games Hornville have played have been against teams that were beneath their particular classification, including E.D. White this past week, although I think E.D. White's going to give them a lot of PowerPoint rankings when it's said and done. So look for Hornville to climb that ladder along with H.L. Bourgeois at number 27. The 2 teams that are outside of the bracket right now, and again, it's only week 3, would be Central Lafourche, who's 1 game out of the bracket, and East St. John, who is quite a few games out of the bracket. They're 0-3 on the year. Let's move on to our next selection, and that would be Select 2. And in Select 2, you have Vanderbilt Catholic, the number 1 ranked team. Remember, Sulphur is a 5A school, folks. Remember, Errett is a 5A school. Remember, Lafourche, is a 5A school. So Vanderbilt has played 3 schools that are 5A. So they've gone up and played in classification 3 times. E.D. White, although 0-3, they're still at number 9, and they're going to move up as they head into district play. Let's go to our next select, and our next select is non-select. It's Division II. South Terrebonne sitting at number 3 simply because they're 3-0, and they actually had a win over Como, who's a 5A school, and then a couple of wins over single-A schools. That probably stopped them from being the number 1 seeded team. Lutcher at 1-2 is at number 9. Assumption, still winless, sits at 19. Morgan City, 1-2, sits at 23. And Ellender got their first win this past weekend, and they sit at number 25. That means that all of our teams that are categorized as Division II non-select would actually make the playoffs if it all ended after this week 3. Our next bracket to take a look at is Division III select. Houma Christian on the outside looking in. Only 24 teams get in. Houma Christian needs to get a couple of wins under their belt to get back into that number. And finally, Division IV select has Covenant Christian moving back up into the top 10. They're sitting at number 6 after a big win against Ascension Christian. And Central Catholic has fallen a little bit, but they're still safely in at number 21. Again, an early look at all of our PowerPoint rankings from around the state of Louisiana. Got to take a break. We'll be back with more Bayou Time Sports after this timeout.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.